Welcome, it's the Market Sniper, and silver is making the news today. First time trading higher than way back, wait for it, Monday the 1st of August 2011. Now, if you take where we are today, 25, that is now a 14-year high that is currently taking place on silver right here, right now. Let's go and have a look at the chart. Bang. There we are. This is a monthly chart. I've only gone back to 2007. I've shown you this bigger structure set up before. Of course, eventually you have the 1980 high way out there. I'm going to leave that out of range just so that we can see these candles. But have a look at that current high trading right now, 37.24, and you're currently very, very close at 37.21. And if you follow that dotted line all along, you actually need this candle to show you when last you traded that high, and that was the highs of 2011. Remember, we've warned that this is an upside HVF and this has been a break. You've been a lot of chop and churn for a while, but now you are on the trot. This is very, very positive overall for silver, and I'm particularly delighted for the long, patient silver bulls, by the way, of which I am part one, although I've got gold and platinum as well. So this is an amazing piece of news. I want to actually show you a key thing. So this is what we get quite a bit. Oh, I've been watching your YouTubes and I think I got what it's all about. Why do I need to pay for your program? I've reverse engineered it. You know, it's like people want to be clever. Well, first of all, you haven't reverse engineered 45 hours of content, which is fun, entertaining, incredibly well recorded that you can piece off and watch for an extended period. And more importantly, you haven't had the nuance of instituting the methodology, how you do it, go about with the entrances and all of those aspects in a live environment before you retrospectively have the already known outcome. And I'm going to take you to a smaller chart to show you an example of the value of just being able to watch. We regularly trade small time setups inside of a macro bull trend. This is a beautiful hourly setup for upside. And there you can see, bang, there she goes. That's your triggering event. And in actual fact, you had a bit of a pause. Note how you made the second interim. That's the first. That's the second. Let's draw this for you a little bit more. This is a clear triggering event. Look at that. That's essentially one major move. You know, in the space of 2 hours, the bulk of the move was done. Bang, you smashed the first interim. That's this dotted, fairly subtle line over there. And you actually smashed the second interim too. And then, having run two targets, you had a pullback. Where did you support? Surprise, surprise, on the key level of significance, which was the first interim. And now you're having that bounce. You're probably going to calm down, and you may even come down a little bit again. But the other thing is, you have a target generation that says, stay put. In the long run, on balance of probabilities. Remember, we're talking about the future. There's nothing that's certain here. The target is very, very close to the 37.8 level. Beautiful draw tool that does all the maths for you. And it's a 3. It's not shoot the lights out, unbelievable risk reward, but you have beautiful low volatility. We call this funneling. It's bang on the middle. It's right on the middle of our axis. It's also bang on the middle of the point of control, which is the volume for the segment that is the pattern. Not everything. This was a grind up over here. You knew you were going to have some form of squaring up. What is squaring up? You stop going up for a while and you consolidate around a level. That's the squaring up. And that's exactly what happened. You first went up fast, then you grind, then you square up. That's what happens in bull markets. Continuation patterns are required. You had quite a stark little dip there on the small time frame. Again, the framing for that is very, very clear. It's a broadening structure to the downside. That was how it was. So you would say, okay, that's a megaphone. We're on a big-ass bull pole coming into here. We're not too worried, we'll wait. You broke that megaphone and you started to squeeze. Technical trading, super low. Spinning top. Very tight. Little test, final bottom out for your RL3, that should be when you were looking for trades. You could have got in a lot sooner. Remember, our RRR calculation, risk reward ratio, is based on the fullness of the full funnel. And that came out, as we've described, at around 3. But let me tell you, for those of you that look down on 3, I actually lectured in an academy of traders who were being prepared to manage funds. And when I looked and we did P&L analysis and trade history analysis, most people are not even getting 1. That's right, people who've trained, being given money to trade, are not even taking a 1:1 trade. Many average below 1 or just through 1. 3, if you are regularly stacking 3s in R's and you're taking L's with 1s and W's with 3s, in the long run, you are doing just dandy, especially if you're not waiting 3 goes before you get that 3. So an important point in all of that, and the value of a community all doing the same thing, not herding cats. We're all HVF traders. We're trained HVF traders. The updates are about the setup. It's about the process, and you're having the community value of that. You get to pick off some of these smaller trades, and guess what you do with that profit? A little bit on lifestyle, a little bit on good living, and the rest goes into stack more silver, more gold, more platinum for the big win on the investment move. Because investment, the long hold, is going to be the steady, consistent thing that brings stability to your life, not the fast and furious of trading. I've been out most of the day, had a lot of things I'm doing. You come back, you see how it's done, you set and forget. The stop is in, the entry is in, and the take profit is in. I don't need to be watching. In fact, you do more damage as a watcher. Go and sleep. Go to bed, wake up in the morning and see how your P&L sings for you. And if it doesn't, 1 unit of size loss. Okay, so that's an example of an upside move, and also an indication of where we think silver will go. 37.77 is getting quite close to the 38 boundary, and it's quite interesting. Let's have a little look if we are to get there. Remember, we're still talking about the future. This could still fail. We're not celebrating a win. Oh, by the way, so we also get people, a lot of people get confused. We really trade. You can see an example here on the trade platform. There's an entry, there's the stop, and there's the take profit. This is what we do. We watch, we observe. It's not hindsight knowledge. We watch and we observe, and this is part and parcel of actively giving up your emotional. Remember, on emotions, greed keeps you in, only pain takes you out. Submitting to process and letting the trades do what it is meant to do. Have a look at gold, which is not as ripper and is actually down on today. By the way, on the gold-silver ratio, that will be stretching to the downside still. So for now, many of the silver bugs will think they fully validated. I just caution against that, as I have before, remember. But we've got a nice little channel. Maybe it started to slow here. It could even be, they claim the dollar was a little bit firm. It's far from being strong. But it could even be a great place for a coming off for gold. Something like that would do us just fine. And we would have an unbelievably beautiful next HVF trade. And this is how you can continue to increase your stack on PMs without having to do anything too crazy. And then, of course, we'll trade the squeeze again. The squeeze of volatility is so useful, and it's event driven. And boy, have we got enough events going on right now. It's unbelievable. Also, I should give you an update on platinum. So overall, biases for all these trends on the big time frame is dominant bullish. Silver currently outperforming gold. So as I've already mentioned, the gold-silver ratio will be coming off. What about platinum that we've spoken about a lot? Well, I want to redraw that original draw on a bigger time frame. Again, that's the weekly. It might even be the monthly one. There we go, there we go, there we go. That came out of there. Now, what's happened? We made the first interim. Full pushback all the way down, but we're trading up today. So we're on a weekly time frame looking at the squeeze over here. This is a far larger time frame. I'm expecting to be holding this one for some time. By the way, the target is up in the 1600s, which we'll show you in a minute. But in actual fact, being the first in a new trend, I might just reduce a little bit of size and take some off, but I'll be looking to hold potential trades on the long term. That's not investment. Investment's a separate thing. We also invest in platinum. Watch out. One of the best places for those of you in Europe, if you ever travel, is to buy platinum when you're in the US, or even better, the maples. The platinum maples in Canada are cheaper than the platinum eagles in the States. And if you don't get them delivered to America, you don't get the 5% duty. There's quite a few tricks you can do. We actually do vaulting. We have services. We have people who can help you with that, based in Panama on an ex-US airfield, which has its own free trade zone and own safety cordon, in case you thought the politics of Panama is too ropey for you. And it is not. It doesn't take any politically exposed individuals, etc. It's not a bank-based vault at all, a specialist vaulting company. Click the link below, book a call, or email us on support@themarketsniper. If you want to trade HVF, book the call. This is what we're doing. Lots of big time frame, for example, the platinum, upside moves, to illustrate that we are in the early stages, especially for platinum, and certainly still pretty early for silver, and I will even argue early for gold, given the amount of debt that has to be deflated away. So markets are looking absolutely phenomenal at the moment, and we're just enjoying the fact that platinum is up. Of course, we also have what we've covered recently, slightly outside left of field, but this is part and parcel of it. We gave you a FX trade. We don't always talk to you about the FX trades. We keep a lot of them to ourselves. But if you look at that one on a daily, if we just look at the last smaller setup, let's reframe that chart somewhere over here, bring it down to the H4 maybe. You had a beautiful setup there, and that one has been running. In fact, on the daily time frame, you've closed higher every time. So remember, when we were talking to you about this setup, the breakouts were around here, and you've just ground higher and higher and higher on the franc against the Japanese yen. So of course people recognize the reserve asset as precious metals and are moving into gold and silver, but some need to keep powder and transactional money close at hand and don't want to sit in losing dollars. And here is one of the alternatives, which is, of course, the Swiss franc. As I say, on the daily chart, it's literally closed higher ever since, since it's broken, it's closed higher. And even though we've been updating you since the break, you can see the key triggering event there. You had one red candle, then you've had closed up, closed up, closed up, closed up, closed up, closed up. Every single time you're moving further away from that entry and that stop loss, and that stop, the total target, by the way, is some way away. We'll be reminding you of that one if you get your 25.36 and a full 190 run. Remember, multiple patterns. So we've given you a little look in of how we do sophisticated things. You think, okay, great, I'm good to go, I'll do it all myself. You're not going to find them. You're not going to have the time to find them. You don't have a community of people looking and find them. You probably don't have, some of you say, I'm going to write the scan. Occasionally we get a few people saying, yeah, I can code the scan. Yep, we've seen some people make some progress with that, but the full-blown scan is a very tough thing. There's quite a few, nuances to different types of upside HVFs. For example, did you notice that that one dipped halfway through the second impulse quite far down before doing that? Very difficult sometimes to code for certain things, although, as I say, we're working on a number of things in that space. Okay, so what's the thrust of this video, essentially? Precious metals are a bull. HVF method is helping you build additional wealth at a time when many people are actually feeling quite poor and impoverished, and the cost of living. This is going to be a polarizing event. You have to be investment in precious metals, in my opinion. For me, I am not going to tell you what you should have to do, but we have bullion vault below. That's for anybody. You can start with any amount. It could be $5,000 a month. It could be $50 a month. Start small, accumulate utilize the link. Boom, boom, you can accumulate. You can purchase in Singapore. Probably my best recommendation. You can purchase gold, you can purchase silver, and in fact, they even offer platinum. The platinum is London only for now, in terms of where it's vaulted. But bear in mind, you're going to participate in the upside. You're going to sell that and buy the actual metal out of your profits. It's difficult to buy if you've only got $150. You can get a couple of silver ounces, for example, or something very small in gold. But sometimes it's nicer to have a block and actually to be able to get, a tube at least. Then you use bullion vault for that. Then ITM trading, or if you're US side, pure gold, pay the prices we pay, secure for yourself your precious metals through our registered friends and brokers that have been long-standing, great reputation, real delivery for your bullion needs there. Okay, so silver, key other point amongst this, it will make a first interim period. It's also got a couple of flags that it might make, so there are some targets. We've got, apart from the upside HVF, 37.7, there's a 38.68 out of this move, pretty big. There's also a 44.98. Wouldn't we love this to be the move that takes us to that key 50, that $45 to $50 zone? I do suspect at that point you will get pushed back or rebutted. If we go straight into a break or we smash through it really hard, I would expect some form of return move, because that 47.5 through to $50 zone has been an electric fence for absolute decades. By the way, in nominal terms, we are way lower, and that's why we divide by the CPI AU CSL, which is the US BLS version of statistics. And probably still understates the inflationary factor immensely. But boy, is that some form of resistance, but fall it will. Many people like to refer to this as the cup and handle. It is a popular technical, and I'm not going to say they're wrong. They're not. There's just better ways of trading it that gives you more information, which is where HVF comes in, when it's likely to pause and rest. But the eventual breaking of this zone, which I've marked around the 47.69, but it's the $50 that you want to see fall, will be huge. It wouldn't surprise me if you had a return move when that happens, and also a first rejection before the break. But don't be put off by that, because once you've done that, it's an open sky in terms of nominal valuation, as we've highlighted before. In fact, if you can take into consideration how long this setup has been building, and you do divide it by the CPI, let's just do it quickly for you. It will highlight to you that in actual fact we've got quite a way to go to get to just 1980s. You can see here how early it is. In fact, on a CPI adjusted basis, we are actually only just triggering our pattern. So we talked to you about the third break, the third impulse break. This is impulse number 3. This is your primary impulse that goes right the way up. It includes the Vietnam War over indebtedness of America and the munitions into Vietnam. And then you have this. We are currently just triggering right this very moment this macro upside HVF, which is the takeout of the third high. And wow, it's actually a key moment that we're sharing together right now. I wasn't expecting that, but there you go. There you have it, the key triggering. Now, the long-term stop will be way down there. In fact, no, it might even, no, it will be there. And the low was down there, the original low, and the secondary low is over here. So we've got an incredible setup that is triggering, that we're sharing with you right here, right now. This will have pulled the gold-silver ratio back, which, hey, I'm as happy as anyone if this happens, but just be warned, if we go into that big down move in the debt markets suddenly on a disorderly basis, here's gold, let's go spend some time with him again, all of a sudden, you can suddenly get central bankers running into gold. And when they do that, they'll run with big money, plus hedge funds and high net worth individuals. They will not be silver buyers because of the storage and the insufficient value that it is denominated by silver. So there's that rejection now on the gold-silver ratio on the month. It's a huge month for the gold-silver ratio. It is part of the rejection of the 100, but let's see if it goes all the way down and breaks the 76. That's what we want to see. 79, 76 levels, we want to see it run that low. Then all we buy is silver on the basis of higher overperformance. I think the run of the 75s and the 72 that I'm interested in, these key 70 zones, if we get below than that, then it could be the start of something a lot bigger. I would feel further comfortable when we've run that low on the way down, but I would already start overweighting on the silver here. Warning, this can sell off like it did here, only in the peak of the main crisis to do that. So please be warned. You can do this, you could do that, and then you could do that. So please be warned, just because it's going our way right now, and we all want it. Let's be frank, we all want it. We all want it sooner, but this is a bigger message in play. You need to keep an eye on the TLT and the dollar and disorderly government bonds, especially on the long end. You see, this isn't another major crisis right now on the debt valuations. This ETF isn't collapsing, but it is near lows since the turn that was called by us in roughly over here, September of 2020. So we need to see more downside. Remember, bad for the debt-based market, very good for gold. End of a fake, phony reserve asset, very good for gold. The real long-term always has been reserve asset. Okay, interesting update for you. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. Some short time frame trading on silver, how you could be making extra silver ounces. Look at it, it's taken out that high, now it's squeezing higher. As we say, there's more to come. We shared that on the Market Sniper as well, which is our profile, so you can check it out over there. Follow us on X if you'd like or you care to, and you'll get those news updates. There's the two trades as they turned out. Sometimes if we get them on time and we've got the community in and we've communicated it, we might be able to get it out on X, but not necessarily a YouTube. Okay, until next time, I look forward to checking in with you. Expect platinum to come back strong. It's been super strong, but it did sell off, so I'm going to bring that one back up because I want to finish there. It is very well set. It made an interim target level, which is natural for a little bit of profit taking. It is coming back. You could get a nice winding up situation, so if you want to watch that, you might be lucky. You might get something similar that silver has done out of that. You may get something along the lines of this. And then you want to be ready to exploit that. So you've got something to watch. You can use the alerts in TradingView to help you. By the way, our broker Tickmill below, you can trade directly from Tickmill. By the way, a lot of brokers aren't offering platinum. SCM, Scandinavian Capital Markets, they are inside the EU at a legal level, but just not inside the euro. So they've got around the leverage restrictions while still being a very solid place for financial standards and safety. You can trade through them. Tickmill, if you're happy to trade through TradingView, which I'm absolutely loving and enjoying as well. I'm actually utilizing every single one of those brokerage platforms. Each one has a unique feature that I really like. SimpleFX, I've used crypto, you can deposit Bitcoin, you can deposit normal dollars, all of them, and it also offers the platinum trade as well. Not every broker will give you access to the platinum trade, so I really like it. So I've got the Swiss franc JPY on with that one. I've replicated a lot of the trades across the platforms, but some of them don't offer the platinum trade. Some of them don't give you the leverage you might like. When you know what you're doing, be careful. Leverage bites. It works both ways. So there you go. Keep an eye on platinum. Those broker links are below, and also don't forget to stack. When you make some gains, take them out. Don't feel too flush and be sloppy with another trade, having a swing like a casino. If you want to build wealth through trading, you have to treat this as a business. Okay, till next time, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Tired of profit wipeouts and blown accounts from following trade signal groups and other YouTube channels? Looking for a better way to trade, reduce your stress, and minimize your risk? Become a skilled technical analyst and see the charts and markets in a new light using the successfully proven HVF method by Francis Hunt, while being surrounded and supported by a principled, structured, and experienced community. Enjoy a constructive learning environment while practically trading markets, supported by a bespoke platform run through browser and app, specifically designed to teach and engage you whilst learning and growing as the markets move. This is not a Telegram or Slack signal group. All trade ideas are based on a proprietary technical analysis process honed over decades, which is the HVF method, leading to trade ideas with fast-moving breakouts and tight stops, exact entries and exits, nuanced interim considerations, and ultimately, strong rewards. Submissions are graded and scored by Francis for potential high-quality setups, and we provide bespoke tools to help get the job done properly and with precision. Over time and with focused effort, you'll begin to look at charts and price action just like Francis. Community updates every day by Francis and our 3 webinars a week provide a 360-degree approach, which are presented by our experienced team of trade leaders to spot potential trades. We're a community of self-actualized individuals, spanning the globe and active 24/7, 365. The premium community provides a warm, supportive, and cooperative place for people willing to listen, participate, contribute, and to learn. We've changed thousands of traders' lives. Transform your approach to trading now. Transform your life. Book an introductory call with us on the link below.